And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another broadcast, another edition here of something very different, something very special. Welcome to the Enki Pro Series #1. I'm, of course, your Sly VIP. With you, I'm joined by these amazing two players and by the people in the chat, by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all, to a new ShowMatch series. Shout out to Enki, of course. Enki, he is El Hermoso himself. Enki is a Spanish caster, a tournament organizer as well, and Enki has started a quote-unquote monthly, tentatively monthly event, is a monthly ShowMatch series, bringing two players together, two players to duke it out in a best of 9. Let's go, baby, let's go. Now, as a reminder, just to be fully transparent, of course, this is a replay cast. This event did occur a couple of weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago, like around 2 weeks ago. This event did occur. Alas, it was only casted in Spanish, and again, Enki has been kind enough to share those matches, and because of that, hopefully we're able to be there for the second edition of this ShowMatch series live. And we can cast it live, we can be there for you then and there at the time. For now, though, we're catching up on these matches for the first time in English. Let's go, baby, let's go. As a reminder, it's going to be a best of 9, so a lot of matches are ahead of us, and I'm happy to see ByuN being featured. ByuN is a player that we just haven't really been able to cover too much of. Fun fact, actually, the last time we casted ByuN was also in an Enki show match. We casted the Enki Christmas Invitational last week as we were catching up on those show matches, and great to see him here again. Again, ByuN, he has been a little bit less active as of late and has been having a bit of a harder time in a lot of these open cups as well, so we just haven't been able to feature him as much. I remember even earlier today, people were asking like, yo, where's ByuN, when we were casting KSL, and alas, he wasn't quite there. But it's great to see him here for the show match, in a best of 9 of all things as well. herO, of course, is coming as a heavy favorite. herO, arguably the best Protoss player in the world. We'll see how ByuN can compare. I'm ready, I'm excited, especially considering that ByuN is a very unique kind of player as well, very bio heavy, very biocentric, very active kind of play style. Whew. I want a back and forth. I want potentially even a game 6, game 7, game 8, game 9. Let's go. Let us go. Cholai just gonna give us a cast in Spanish again. True. I have tried casting in Spanish in the past, and it did not go well. Did not go well, baby. Did not go well. One day, we'll bring it back. But for now, we have our two players here. Again, full best of 9, just the best of 9 here tonight. So potentially, I was gonna say a bit of a shorter broadcast. Technically, a best of 9 can last like 3 hours. True. We depending on the lengths of the matches, we might have like a break at some point as well. We'll see how far we go. I'm ready, I'm excited. We're jumping into game 1. Game 1 is going to be on Abyssal Reef. Whew. Of course, because of the fact that the nature that this is a best of 9 also means no vetoes whatsoever. All the maps are available, and we jump in to our first game of the night. Let us go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Abyssal Reef, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Weibo Gaming. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Red Terran player from South Korea, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Here we go. The banter is real, baby. The banter is real. Have we faced up before in the best of 9? No. I'm gonna bring you down. Oh, Inu was here. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Shout out to Inu. Inu is a Korean caster. I'm sure he probably helped Enki when it comes to bring together all the players. Do appreciate it. Do love to see it. Hold on, as I'm like... Okay, we're good. I like how even Enki's like, what's going on? I was looking at. I think they were asking about the maps. Oh, they were actually wishing each other happy Lunar New Year. Oh, true. I mean, that's today. True. Right. For those who don't know, happy Chinese New Year, I should say. Happy Chinese New Year. Happy New Year. Ah, true. That's what they were actually talking about. There you go. I was just looking it up with Google Translate. But there you go. Ah, wholesome, papi, wholesome. Happy Chinese New Year. as we do have ByuN opening up double gas. Double gas opening here out of ByuN, faster factory, delayed CC, so going for a more aggressive start here. Meanwhile, we do see herO across the map just settling in as well. Standard opener out of herO, something more aggressive out of ByuN, and I'm a little bit curious as to why. Also, this is a bit of a breath of fresh air. I haven't actually casted a game on Abyssal Reef in a couple of days, which is an eternity. I think like we cast StarCraft a lot here on the channel, so to not actually feature a map in multiple days, it feels far too long. Same with Neo Violet Square, actually. Yeah, we just haven't been able to feature them. A big reason for that is because a lot of the events that we've been casting as of late has been removing it from the map pool. Events like the KSL, Biggest Monday as well, and I don't recall seeing this too often at all during the Wardy TV Monday. So yeah, it's been a hot minute. It's been a while. We're back. We're under the sea. Beautiful. Is going to be a Twilight Council opener out of here. Twilight Council into Blink, so nothing too crazy, standard opener. But I'm a little bit surprised by the more aggressive start out of ByuN, just because we're loading into a much more macro map. Welcome one and all to Abyssal Reef, is one of the larger maps of the map pool, of course, second largest only to Neo Violet Square. Likewise, very dependable on 2, 3, and 4 bases. Despite that, ByuN going to try to kick things off here with an earlier 1-1-1. Tech labs are on the way. From here, we can go into early tank production. We can go for an early tank drop, cyclone drop as well, or even into early Banshees. Where we headed. Meanwhile, here he will delay the CC, dips in, tases away at the SCV, but is going to be dealt with, and we have the answer. It is going to be fast tank. Show us the medevac. Yeah, medevac is on the way. This is a bold build here out of ByuN. It's hyper aggressive. We're rushing into a tank drop. And again, this is usually seen on smaller maps, but the added benefit of doing this here on Abyssal Reef is just how unorthodox it is, and how unprepared your opponent should be against this. It's a large map, yes, but because that herO, I mean, he's just chilling. He's just chilling, getting to his 2-gate opener. I believe 2-gate blink. Yep, 2-gate blink so far, into a would-be third. Here he's just building up across the map. Meanwhile, the first tank is revealed. That is a tell. It's going to be a tell here. Second tank is on the way. Viking as well. Here comes that drop. And here he's distracted. He's distracted by the Reaper. He doesn't miss the drop. Another Stalker moving out, and I believe here he will barely miss this. Up, just barely. Now, there's a brutal position here, which I believe we're headed towards. You can actually set up your tank on the other side of the ravine, and you can get within range of the mineral line. And ByuN, he rocks up. He's here, he's within range, and probes can start going down. Even picking away here at the Stalker. Here he's forced to pull away. He is denied half his mineral mining. Half the mineral line mining. Oh my god, as he has to be so careful. Oh no! 2 probes going down, they got 1 shot. And we can see ByuN reinforcing. It's going to be rallying across the map. Again, this position can be very brutal, very unforgiving. But herO, we're going to break this position. Gets eyes on it. Ooh, commits to the shade. That should not have happened. That goes down. herO, of course, getting his third. Again, economic opener, 2-gate blink, into a third nexus. Oh, the tank! The tank is exposed. Whew, and is barely saved. Oh no! He goes to the dive! Medevac is going to go down the tanks as well. Bit of a shaky dive here out of herO, but he will clean this up. Cleans up at least all the power units. So here he's going to be forced back. Again, that was a crazy blink. Losing 4 Stalkers in the process. But he will shut this down. Again, these are the Marines. Marines, they do nothing against this kind of army. They're not meant to. The Marines, with the protection, they were with the buffer zone for the tanks. The tanks, they were always doing damage. They have been cleaned up. Now here he reinforces. Blink is done. Ooh, we'll take a tank shot to the face. Nice setup here by ByuN. Does punish. Does punish herO. ByuN pulling back. herO's trying to set up a counterattack. At least ByuN, he does get back home just in time. On the tank. The tank on the high ground. Once again, very nice tank position here at a ByuN. Gets home safe and sound. Relatively. ByuN, of course, looking at the unit source tab here, did lose 2 tanks and a medevac. These were hefty losses for ByuN. On the one hand, sure, he killed a couple of workers, but remember, herO, he had a third base. He had an economic build, 2-gate blink, into a third. So herO, he's fine. Economically, he's fine. He dives into the main, picking up more SCVs. 5, 6 SCVs going to be going down, and he does recall back home. Ooh, we'll lead out 1 Stalker at the same time. Viking harass here across the map. 3 probes going down. Good damage. But Last of Viking should also be hunted down as well, as it will survive in the dead space. Does survive. Go. So just catching up in the chat. When cast in Polish. Siema, papi, siema. My Polish is like 4 words. Okay, I got nothing. I got nothing. I got dziękuję. I got dzień dobry. I got siema. That's like all I got. Asking for too much, papi. Asking for too much. As here he does try to meet up with the army. ByuN going to be rotating around the right hand side, but he does get caught out. He's spotted. Clutch move here by herO. Pulls away. Charge is done. Zelta getting set up. And what does ByuN have with this? He's got 2 tanks, 2 Widow Mines, getting his third base behind this on location, but still very committed. And he does come across the Zealots. Does catch him. Zealots getting picked off. Stalkers they move out across the map. herO pulling back. ByuN once again setting up in that location. Nice mind drag. Oh, the other big connection. Mind shot going off. Tank shots as well. Double dropping to the mineral line. Here he does delay the third TC. But can he deal with this army? He should be able to. Very nice concave here by herO. Collapses on the tanks. Ooh, brutal choke point. He will clean this up. Meanwhile, ByuN stim is now done. Drops over the ravine. Up. Prism goes down. It's a fake Colossus. He can trade against the Zealots. I was gonna pick up. He has to get the hell out of here. Does pull out. herO holds. Still maintains his position. herO bleeding out 12 workers. But still looking good. Let's go to 3-base setup. Let's go to his economy. Still no base, still no splash damage, but does he need any? As ByuN, he was forced to cancel. I'm assuming cancel. Yeah, no kill, thankfully. But the third base was denied, was cancelled. It's being rebuilt further back in the main. So big delay here for ByuN. On the one hand, yes, he killed 12 workers. Oh. He was able to snipe some key units. But the pressure is still on ByuN. Clutch moves. ByuN unloading here in some dead space. Here he has no vision. And ByuN stims in. The probes are exposed. He forces a recall. Does force a recall. Prism races back home. ByuN saves his army. And gets away in time. So he does dive in. Forcing back herO. herO, he can hold his own at the same time. ByuN dropping into the main once again. Trying to pull apart the attention of herO. So he does avoid the mine shot. Once again, stims in. This time there's no recall. He can get some damage done. And he goes to the mineral line. Zelts are falling, but he does respawn in time. herO key defends. No force fields. No sentries. The Wonder Mortal doing what it can. Still no splash damage either. Still a rough fight here for herO. Bleeding out a lot of stalkers. And has he dealt with the drop? He has not. ByuN, he's pulling him apart. Zelts is stuck in the main. More perps going down. ByuN moving in. Production under fire. And force the lift. Dropping into the main. Again, ByuN, he's so close to breaking herO. herO throwing away that War Prism. Does clean up the Widow Mines. Widow Mines go down. Behind this, ByuN getting his third base up and running. It's now operational. And ByuN, he's got the better worker count. He's up in SCVs. Has a better economy. And he's barely pulling this off. hero's stuck with a worse economy now, even on bases, which is something you never want to see in a PvT. herO, he needs a fourth. But ByuN has momentum. ByuN, he's just never going. He should never allow herO to expand. Now there's trucks. Checking the fourth base location. Again, it's on ByuN to make sure that herO is stuck on 3. That he's contained. And back at home, Ghost. Ghost Academy's on the way, making 3 ghosts at a time. Again, a big reason for ByuN's success here was the drop play in the main, just forcing herO to split up his army, split up his units, to have a more awkward defense. ByuN has to calm down though. Has to pull away. There comes the bait, drop back into the main. Getting 4 more probes. Oh no! Is finally going to be cleaned up though. As the full medevac goes down. But their jobs they've paid for themselves already. They've done well. Now here come the ghosts. And there's still a big window here before Hero has any splash damage. And when you're relying here on this kind of like swarm toss heavy gateway composition, you do need a greater economy. You need to be up in bases, up in workers, up in economy to be able to overwhelm your opponent with mass charge. And that's just not happening. It's not happening here. ByuN going to be the first to expand. Gets a 4th. Brutal EMP. Yeah, EMP goes off. Hero going for a zealot run by. ByuN is knocking down those rocks. Yeah, so far, pulls off the EMPs. Shuts down the army. And is going to dive in. And here he just doesn't have enough. He has an attempted CranKy, but the numbers are just not there. Disruptor's on the way. He gets his first disruptor. Never gets up. Up. No connection. Gets 1 marauder. GG. And ByuN will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Oh my god. After a rough start, to be honest, it was a rough start for ByuN. ByuN, of course, he attempted with the initial double gas opener into the tank drop, which didn't really get much done. Remember, he only killed 2 probes. He only killed 2 workers. He was cleaned up, but here he was holding his own. He was looking to be in a better position. He was engaging in the center of the map. If you remember, here he even forced a cancel on the 3rd CC as well. It was very impressive. And then ByuN, he started dropping. He does what he does best. He dropped back. He dropped into the main, into the 3rd base, just pulling hero apart, getting damage done, distracting hero, and allowing himself to get a better trade at that natural in the main fight. GG. GG well played. ByuN does take lead in the series, and we'll see if he can extend that lead or if hero can bounce back. The pressure is on. I mean, I say that. It's a long series. It's the best of 9, so a lot of games ahead of us. There is a little bit of room for error here. There's a little bit of breathing room for the players. Here we go. We are jumping in. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Frostline, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is herO. And spawning into the top right-hand corner, we have the red Terran player, the red Terran from South Korea, Java Rebellion. It is ByuN. Here you go. Just Lunar New Year. Yeah, Lunar New Year. Polish is easy, just ask Kuro. Oh no. Not like this. But yes, for those that are asking, this is a best of 9 show match. Best of 9. We got you covered. So we have a long extended series. Best of 9s. I mean, on the one hand, best of 9s are a rarity, but we just did cast a best of 9 between Cyril and herO. Now we get one between ByuN and herO as well. We're putting herO through the ringer, Pappy. Oh my god. All the best of 9s. Next up, next of 9 between herO and Max. Oh my god, as ByuN does pull the boys, doesn't quite get the worker, not quite as worth it here for ByuN. Rough move, and once again, double gas. 2 games in a row, double gas opener. Now, this makes a little bit more sense here on Frostline. I will say that I don't think this was quite worth it last game. Oh my god, as he does get this around. Shuts down the probe, and ByuN can settle in. Whew, let's go. But yeah, in the end, this wasn't necessarily worth it for ByuN. If you remember, he lost 2 tanks and a medevac, and he didn't really trade too well at the start of the game. It was the aftermath. It was the mid-game where ByuN was able to recover despite his deficit in game number 1. We'll see what he goes for this time, though. Just because he went for a tank drop in game 1 doesn't mean that he's going to do it again here in game 2. Double gas can still lead into a different kind of form of aggression, can lead into early game Cyclone aggression and Cyclone drops. We can see Reactor Reaper Hellion, we can see early Banshee play as well, which is very trendy amongst the Korean Terrans. I would not be surprised if we see Banshee based opener at some point in this series out of ByuN. Meanwhile, ByuN, he's scouting, he checks the 3rd base, make sure there's no proxy, across the map. herO going to be opening up this time no Twilight Council, this time a Stargate. This does make sense. I mean, I would have assumed Stargate play on Frostline as well. Basically, sorry, on Abyssal Reef as well. Basically, Stargate play can be quite risky, can be quite greedy. It is considered at times a little bit unsafe, especially on smaller maps, but on a larger map like Abyssal, like Frostline, like Neon Violet Square, like Amygdala as well, then this is more viable, more so than on the smaller ones. The reason for this, as you can imagine, is because your tech, your units are quite limited here early on in the early game with a handful of oracles or with a handful of phoenixes, and if your opponent is hyper aggressive, then you can be overwhelmed. Meanwhile, ByuN is moving out. Did open up Reactor Reaper. He's got a decent chunk of them. He's got 3 Reapers and 2 Hellions. Behind this, going to be transitioning into Marine production. Tech Lab is on the way, getting ready for a potential add-on swap or early tanks. And we'll see if ByuN can bust into a mineral line. But now he's met by the Adepts. No shield battery. One Adept goes down. Oracle does arrive, and the Oracle will shut this down. It cleans up the Hellions, the Reapers. Very nice cleanup here by herO. 1 Hellion will escape, but herO holds. And here he only loses 1 Adept, so a much better trade for herO. Behind this, we are going to be going into we're going into a Cyclone production alongside Vikings. The reason for this, of course, the Oracle was scouted. For all ByuN knows, there's a second Oracle on the way, and there is a second Oracle. Ooh, he does get 2 probes. There we go, probe does shut down the Hellion. But there is a second Oracle, and ByuN needs as much anti-air as possible to hold and to minimize losses. And ideally to skip out on turrets. Getting an eBay and getting turrets up sound like, I mean, a solid way to defend, but also a big investment as well. Ideally, ByuN wants to get away with the bare minimum with those Cyclones. Here he shades into the mineral line, going for the Marines. Yeah, the Marines going to be overwhelmed. All the Marines going to be falling. We're the Cyclones that were stuck in the main. Ooh, but ByuN will get 1 Oracle kill. Not bad. Catches 1 Oracle, now there's only 1 left. So once the army does arrive, he shuts it down. Did bleed out a lot of Marines. The Oracle comes back. herO getting a little bit greedy here. Takes a lot of hits, a lot of damage. He does not get an extra SCV. And he barely escapes. Barely gets away, forced to recall. Oh no! Oh my god. The Viking almost hunting him down. Now we can take a moment here. 3rd TC's on the way. I believe herO did scouts. Here he's aware of the 3rd base. He's getting his own. A very fast 3rd out of ByuN. So with this, we'll get a greater economy, of course, eventually. And now we can slow down. Now we can slow things down. That was a 3rd TC before 2nd and 3rd ranked. So economic follow-up here out of ByuN. Behind this, we do see herO just saturating on 3 bases and catching up on his own Blink. Was initially a Stargate opener, but now into Blink. When it comes to the initial Stargate play, looking at the Unisoft tab, he did kill a good chunk of Marines, and he killed a lot of units early on, but no economic damage. Ideally, that's kind of what you're looking for with these Oracles, so I would say a better start for ByuN. And the pressure's on herO to be active. After the, in a sense, almost blundered Oracle harass, the pressure's on these Stalkers to get some damage done. Blink just finished, and herO could dive into the main. Now, tank production was delayed because of the Cyclones, true. So there's only 1 tank. Stalkers, they dive in. Going for the add-ons. Reactor goes down. And we can go for SCVs as well. I believe recall's on cooldown. Going for the 2nd reactor. From here, we'll blink away and we'll not lose the Stalker. Stalker does not go down. Nicely done. Does bleed out a couple of workers. But herO so far doing good damage. Now going to be reinforcing. And behind this, he is taking towards charge, but also at the same time towards splash damage. This is something that we did not see last game on Abyssal Reef. herO, he was a lot more gateway-centric. This time, faster Colossus. I'm assuming Colossus first, and then Disruptors. Eventually both. As he does Sniper Debo. Ooh, getting a medevac as well. Very nicely done. Stasis Trap is set. herO pulls away, but reinforces. Just moving in. Clutch scan here out of ByuN. Shuts down the stasis. Don't shut down that stasis trap. Here he is setting up here with that counterattack, with that run by. Could even try to collapse in the army. He's going for it. Zelzay dive in. Tank is started down. Yeah, ByuN caught out in the open. Nice kiting though. Does pull away. Pulls back to the reinforcements. Kites well against these zealots. And ByuN, he should shut this down. herO at the same time though, really this is just a distraction. He does distract. Gets into the mineral line. 8 SCVs going down. And really herO only losing zealots. Comes in from behind, gets the Cyclone and the medevac. Very nice setup here from herO. He shuts down the main army, and not just the SCVs, but the Marines and the Marauders as well. The army is overstimmed, no medevacs. They were sniped in lead up to this game. That's still 14 SCV kills, 15 SCVs. And GG gets caught. herO, he pulls ByuN apart, and herO ties up the series 1-1. GG. Oh my god, GG, well played. Again, a very impressive attack there from herO. Was able to, again, just pick away at the army. Initially, I assumed, oh yeah, he's just going to distract and he's just going to get the mineral line, which he did pull off, but then he just kept warping in. He was able to catch out the medevacs, more importantly, and lock down the army as well. GG, impressive. Bearing in mind that herO behind this, he was setting up for a 4th base, and it was taking into Colossus. Like, he was not all in by any means, but he found an opening, he found an opportunity. Something that I should have brought up, that I try to, at least whenever I can, whenever we cast on Frostline, is how exposed these bases are on Frostline. I'm referring to the 3rd and 4th base. We talk about it all the time, but it's just so open. It's just so wide open. There's no, like, point of elevation or ramp or choke point that you can take advantage of. So ByuN was caught out in the open. He was surrounded multiple times there. It can be very, very difficult to actually hold on to that 3rd base and the 4th as well. And GG. GG, well played. herO was able to overwhelm, and now we have a back and forth. We have a series back. We have a series. We have a back and forth. We're now getting into game number 3. Game 3 is going to be on El Dorado. Let's go. And we'll see who takes the lead in this series, as spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Weibo Gaming. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, being forced into a tied series. We'll see if we can bring it back. It is ByuN. We go. As, oh my god, okay. For the entirety of this series so far, game 1 and game 2, ByuN has been going for double gas openers. We've seen double gas openers time and time again. This time we see ByuN going for a hidden Rax instead. As he does hide the Rax. Typically, when you hide a Rax, you hide it further back in the main. You can see here he's looking. He's looking further back in the main base. It is not uncommon to hide the first Rax behind the mineral line. So here he checks. The second location should be here at the natural, and then at the 3rd base location. But because of how large the natural is, ByuN, he has found a very unique position for that Rax, and as a result, herO, he may never find it. It is still double gas, don't get me wrong, still double gas, but ByuN, he's faking out a proxy. Game is now done. herO, he does spot an SCV, but does not get eyes on anything else. Alas, herO, he doesn't flinch. He does not flinch. Doesn't believe that there is a proxy. So Gate, Cyber, Expand. I mean, I say that this is a bit of a safer opener here, which is still pretty standard from the side of herO. But herO, what he doesn't do is he doesn't make a Zealot. If he believed that there was a proxy, if he wanted to play it safe, then he would be constructing a Zealot here to defend, to have an initial unit early on. That is not the case here. So here he calls ByuN's bluff, and he calls correctly. Behind this factory on the high ground into an eventual CC. We can see ByuN is also checking for proxies. Wants to make sure he doesn't get bamboozled. Doesn't want to get caught out. And now we can just calm things down. ByuN is getting his natural location. herO, his is almost done. And interesting, we're going into Reactor Reaper Hellion for the time being. We'll see how hard we commit. Meanwhile, herO for the first time, I mean, I appreciate that herO, he's done something different every game. Remember, game 1, 2-gate blink into a third. Game 2, Stargate opener into Oracle Harass. Game 3, Robo opener instead. Reaper as they dive into the main, Adepts in position, will zone away, will deny the scouts. Reaper's taking a lot of hits. Oh my god. Does take a lot of damage. And a Robo opener is a very safe way to play. What does the Robo entail? First things first, it allows you to get the early observer to scout. It allows you to get into immortal production if you feel threatened against an all-in. If you can get away with it, you can start an early Bay into early Colossus production as well. As Reapers dive into the main, and ByuN, he confirms the Robo. Is where it gets a probe kill, gets 1, gets 2. Uh-oh. Can he get 3? Can he get 4? 3 workers going down. He will barely not get the 4th. herO defends, herO holds, and herO, he breaks out. Does break out across the map. There's that initial observer into even more. Observer's on the way. herO moving out. Back at home, we're headed actually towards a Widowmine drop. Up. Nice catch. Remember, there's no blink. Takes out one of the Stalkers. Expensive loss here for herO. Takes a lot of hits. Takes a lot of hold damage even. ByuN, he wants that Stalker. Wants anything really. And he's going to get it. Takes out the Adept. Very nice stutter stepping. And here comes the drop. 1 Widowmine, 4 Marines. Making its way across the map. ByuN, he defends well. herO, he spots the drop with the Xel'Naga. You'll see here respond. Does respond in time. And here actually going to be opening up charge, not blink. Okay. Interesting setup. Metaman taking a lot of hits. Oh my god. That should not have happened, as ByuN, alas, did not have the boost available here and he gets shut down. That was a big loss. So the Widowmine goes down, the Medevac as well. Ay, ay, ay. Back at home, ByuN getting to his own tank production, 1-1-1. And herO is expanding. So no crazy 2-base all-in or 2-base shenanigans. Observers fan out. herO, he does spot the Liberator. Has Stalkers in position. Yep, they respond, they rotate. They're ready for the Lib. Observer sees everything in the main. You have extra Raxes, no thirds, oh, actually thirds CC here at the natural. ByuN spots the Observer. Very nicely done. Does spot the Observer. herO trying to keep up with this Liberator. Again, it's quite awkward because there's no blink. So a very awkward defense, but a defense nonetheless. As Liberator does confirm the third. And we'll siege. Now, ideally, herO wants ByuN to push into him. herO, he's going to charge and going into Storm. This is a kind of army composition that does best defensively, or I should say does best out in the open, instead of trying to push into this kind of sieged up position, pushing up a ramp into tanks. That's where things can get awkward for herO. But these wide open fights, they can go well for him. Does catch an Observer. Another Observer goes down. Still one left. Plays building up. I believe herO did see, he did not actually see the third CC. So he's a little bit in the dark. Just now saturating his own third. Going for his own Storm drop into the natural. Ooh, and ByuN does not spot this. Does he react in time? Does he respond? Storm's coming in. He gets 1, he gets 2. Ooh, Storms that connect. 7 SCVs going down. Whew. He gets half the mineral line at the same time. Liberator does finally get activated. 2 probes. There is some counter damage. As Lib does get away. Oh no, he's back! Oh, with the Archons. He's back with the Archon. Doesn't find anywhere near as much damage. Here he's forced back. But upon going for the Storm Drop, he also scouted the CC. He's aware of it being landed. Is aware of its timing. And here comes herO. As he moves out, ByuN goes for a drop. Liberator does distract. The Observer does spot the double drop. herO, he should be aware. He's pushing in. He doesn't care. He commits. Pushing into 2 tanks though. Breaks through the bunker. Tanks getting a lot of hits off. Going for a massive warp in. And I don't think herO can break. Yeah, it's not. Nice storms though. Oh my god. The storms on the middle line. 19 SVs going down. But I believe ByuN should have enough. I mean, we spoke about this. herO, this isn't really the kind of army that can break this kind of position. ByuN defends. And ByuN he attacks. He has 10 probes across the map. He forces recall, depowers almost everything. The Artosis pylons. There's a storm to defend. Oh my god. Does soften up the probes. And ByuN, he's overwhelming. Gets 20 worker kills. Takes down the Immortals. The recall was not good enough. And I'm just a little bit in shock that herO did try to break this. It was crazy. Like the third was on its own. Try to force his way up the ramp. It did not work out well for him. ByuN takes the lead. I mean, the worker counts are comparable, true. They are comparable with each other. But ByuN has mules. And ByuN has that army. Going for a split push. Double drop towards the south. Main army towards the center. His main army gets spotted. Oh! Alright, Templar ready. Here he's keeping up, but he just doesn't have the numbers. Yeah, he just doesn't have the supply. The supply is not lying, Pappy. It's not lying. There's 1 High Templar and 3 Zealots. Drop into the main. Storm's going to be popping up, but again, this is really a distraction. And ByuN breaks through into the third. Busts into the mineral line. There's that 1 storm. Good connection. Very nice connection, actually. But there's nothing else here. There's just nothing else here. There's the Desperation Warp in. 17, 19 probes going down. ByuN jumping in the natural. Again, just pulling herO apart. And throughout all of this, ByuN is just chilling. He's just macroing up. Ghosts are building up back at home. EMP is going to be available. ByuN was all over this. As once again, just targeting down stalkers, probes, whatever he can get his hands on. Running out of energy on these medevacs. But this is all just value here for ByuN. Pulls back, and here comes the main army. Here come the reinforcements. So 3 ghosts, a good amount of marauders. It's going to be rallying across the map. Likewise, so is herO. Okay, now herO, he does have a smaller army, but oh my god, almost was a High Templar. With storms, he can still pull this off. He can pull this off. The problem though, he has to avoid the EMPs. He has to avoid the EMPs. Here comes Warp in. Here he's all in. He's completely all in. And can he break this? High Templar, they load up. They're safe from EMPs. There's what, 3 EMPs left. Zealots, they charge in. Storm on the Bayou. There's the first storm. There's the second. Zealots, they're breaking through. Boys are being pulled. ByuN getting desperate. Here comes on the wave of Warpins. Zealots are on the way. And the Archons are about to finish. It's going to be close. He gets 1. Oh, he gets targeted down. It goes down almost instantly. And ByuN, he holds. He shuts down the War Prism. Shuts down the Immortals as well. And ByuN, he holds on. GG gets called. And ByuN, he will take a lead in the series. GG. Whew. Oh my god. Again, a very strong start for herO. Like, herO, he was doing quite well for himself early on. Remember, he killed the initial harassing Widowmine drop. The medevac went down. He was able to deal with the Liberator for the most part. The Storm drop was popping off. Like, he was in a better position. And then we saw herO make the decision of pushing up the ramp into 2 tanks. And he did break in eventually, but he lost so much in the process. It took a long time for herO to actually break down the bunker. There was the bunker ahead of that, of course. Eventually he broke it down and eventually got on top of those tanks, but herO, he just spent so much supply doing so. It was a really rough fight for herO. herO to try to break through that. Of course, at the same time, ByuN was dropping across the map as well, and herO, he had to eventually recall, and it just wasn't worth it. herO, he was torn apart. And yeah, herO just getting, it happens from time to time. herO just getting too excited. Just calm down, herO. Calm down. we don't have to send it. We don't have to push in. And in the end, herO, he got punished. And that is going to lead us into game number 4. Let's go. Can herO bounce back, or will ByuN extend his lead? As we're loading into Whispers of Gold. We go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss, the Blue Protoss, representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is herO. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the red Terran player, the red Terran himself from South Korea, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And we saw last game ByuN open up with a fake proxy Rax. This time, once again, fake proxy Rax. Let's go. Now, last time herO didn't really react too hard to it. I mean, you could argue that maybe the Robo opener was a reaction just because Robo play can be very safe, but it worked out really well for herO. Like, again, like he had a pretty strong start early on. We'll see if herO falls for it this time. Double gas opener once again, Rax at the 3rd location. As we mentioned before, it is not uncommon for a Terran player to hide their Rax further in their main base, behind the mineral line, in their natural, at their 3rd, or maybe even another alternative location like this one, just trying to keep it hidden from his opponent. herO, though, doesn't really go for an early probe scout. As herO, he does open up gates into Cybercore, into Nexus. And herO, he doesn't scout at all. So it's one of those things where like ByuN's doing all these flips, doing all these tricks. He's like, oh, I'm a mess him up. I'm a try to force him to overreact and over respond. And herO doesn't even scout. He doesn't. He doesn't even care. Like, you do you, Pappy. You do you. Oh no. He never showed up. From here, we can just settle into standard openers then. So no mind games. No shenanigans. It's that big brain move where it's like hero's like, hey, you can never get mind games if you never scout. It's like, not wrong. As ByuN, he checks his own 4th location, making sure there's no proxy. ByuN playing it safe. Does play it out safe. CC is on the way. And here he will come in with hallucination. He will now confirm, like, oh, your Rax isn't where it should be. It's kind of weird. But I guess it's okay because you're expanding. So here now he's aware of the initial opener. Is whether the Rax is nowhere to be found. Back at home, Stargate opener. Gonna be Stargate player to herO. Reverting back to what he went for in the first game. Dips in, or I guess second game really. Last time we saw some Stargate play was on Frostline with the initial Oracle opener. It was a bold move by herO. As ByuN, he does commit, does try to break through. So far going for the Stalkers. Oh, we'll get the Sentry. Sentry goes down. But for a cost. As herO does shut down 2 of those Reapers, 3 of those Reapers even. We'll lose the Stalker. I would say better trade here for ByuN, but he does not get into the mineral line like he hoped to. And this is not an Oracle opener. It is going to be Stargate into Phoenixes. Okay. Phoenixes are building up. I did mention before that this is a risky way to play, especially on smaller maps, especially on Whispers of Gold. So bold move out of herO. ByuN back at home, double gas opener, this time into Banshee. Once again, we were praising herO for opening up in a different way every game, and that still stands true. We had 2 Gate Blink game 1, we had Oracle opener game 2, Robo opener game 3, now Phoenixes. Meanwhile, ByuN likewise opening up with Tank Banshee. Again, this was very trendy and very popular, especially last year. Coming into 2024, early 2024 actually. And ByuN, he does embrace it once again. Now he can take a couple of different approaches here. He could try to actually push out with his main army with Banshee support, or try to push out and try to distract while the Banshees wreak havoc in the main. Now, unfortunately for ByuN, there are plenty of Phoenixes, so a really good read out of herO. herO, he actually didn't scout anything. He's, of course, just blindly opening up Phoenixes for map control, and it's going to work out very well for him, as he'll have plenty to deal with the first Banshee, assuming he has detection, which is something that doesn't exist yet. He can, of course, chrono out an Oracle. The Robo is finishing up with the Observer, but it's not ready yet, and here comes the Banshee. The Banshee will hit first. We can see the pylon did spot this. Oh, but there's a cloak. And the Observer is almost done. Boys are being pulled away. herO preserves his mineral line. Strong reaction out of herO. The Observer has arrived. And the Banshee is shut down. And this is a rough start for ByuN. He dives in. Goes to the mineral line. He will get no probe kills. Hellions go down, Banshee goes down. I believe there's a second Banshee. Yep, there is a second Banshee. But again, this was a big investment for ByuN. It wasn't just that he made Banshees, it was that he invested into Cloak as well. As ByuN is going for the natural. herO, he moves out, which means herO, he's out of position. He's not at home to defend. He defends the main, goes to the Marines. Yeah, limited anti-air. Remember, these are vanilla Marines, no stim. Oh my god, so many Marines go down. herO pulls away. At the same time, Banshee does try to strike these bases, but there's defenses back at home. There's a reinforcing Phoenix, there's the Observer. And herO, he wants to cut him off. Oh no! There's going to be no escape. The Observer keeps up, and the Banshee does go down. So a very strong start for herO. Behind this herO working towards charge, +1. Bays on the way for Colossus production, safety immortal production as well. I do appreciate this from herO. He doesn't have to make immortals. Like, he could just be a little bit more efficient. He could skip this, focus on probing, pylons, taking up, but he is playing safe. He's playing safe. He's far enough ahead to pull that off, to get away with that, or to afford that. Meanwhile, ByuN is contained. ByuN is getting into a 4-rack setup. Interesting. Based on the production as well is going to be further back. Limited add-ons. And ByuN may just go for a 2-base all-in. Curious, how many tanks? We're up to 5 tanks, 4 Vikings. We have a 5th tank on the way. Sorry, we have a 6th tank on the way. Jesus. And no 3rd CC. No 3rd command center in sight. Yeah, lack of add-ons is a tell. +1 is almost done. Ideally, ByuN does want to hit with his upgrades with Sim, Combat Shields, and +1. And here comes a push. He's got a couple of boys with this to repair. Just a couple. His posturing. Ideally, herO wants to try to engage this army in the center of the map and slow it down. As here, he does not, or he did spot the move out, is aware. Colossus has arrived, diving the army. The tanks they siege, he gets 1. Oh, tank boys are going to be brutal though. Gets 2 tanks, has to back up, has to respect those tanks. As again, that was a lot of tanks. Had 6, now down to 4. 4 tanks left. Turrets on the way. herO trying to catch reinforcements. We'll find them. Bad catching all the Marines. Vikings, they get a lot of shots off. Ooh, shield battery goes down. And do we lift up the tanks? They'll say dive in. Tank boy's going up. The Colossus, it barely survives. No, it does not survive. Goes down to the final Viking shots. But here comes the Colossus, and here he's holding. He's barely holding on. GG gets called. Here he will survive the all-in. And herO will tab the series 2-2. GG. Whew. Oh my god. GG, well played. Again, ByuN, he was forced into the all-in. He had a really rough start, very rough start, winding it back here for ByuN to invest into a 1-1-1 into Cloak Banshees, and for the Banshees to kill 0 probes. 0 probes went down. He denied some mining time in the main. That's not worth it. That's not worth it. So he lost his Banshees, he lost Marine reinforcements, he lost all of his Hellions as well. He lost any way to really get any economic damage. It was a big investment, so he was forced into a 2-base all-in. So 2-base all-in there at a ByuN, and he had potential. I mean, if you recall, he did kill the first Colossus real fast, real quick, but it's a slow push because of the tanks. Like, the tanks, they take a long time to set up, to get within range. Like, it's not the easiest army to actually commit in with, to dive in with. And herO did a great job of just slowing it down at a buying time and then shutting it down. GG. GG, well played. Whew. herO, he defends, he survives, and that leads us into game number 5. Who will take a lead in the series? Oh boy. Who will take a lead as we're going to be loading into Ultra Love? And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. We go. Okay, and when it comes to herO, I feel like we've seen almost every opener. I mean, what haven't we seen? I guess we haven't seen a standard opener. True. We have not seen 3-gate Blink. 3-gate Blink is a build that we have not seen at all so far in this best of 9, so we'll get there eventually. Likewise, we haven't seen a Robo opener into a Colossus Rush. True. We haven't seen that. And something else we haven't seen so far at a herO is a proxy gate. We haven't seen any proxies, we haven't seen any cheese. ByuN has been scouting for them, but they have yet to be really showcased here in this series. herO, he is more than happy to, but yet to do so. Likewise, we also haven't seen a proxy Stargate, which he has been very fond of as of late. Almost every series that we've casted of herO, against Clem, against Cure, against Gumiho, proxy Stargate is something that he has been mixing in these best of 3s and best of 5s. So we still got a couple of builds to showcase. Meanwhile, ByuN for the first time. Okay, you have my attention for the first time here in this best of 9 economic opener. Racks expand off of 1 gas geyser. We're calming down, and this does make sense on Ultra Love. Ultra Love is one of the few maps that has a ramp coming into the natural, so a much more defendable location, much safer map here to be greedy into gut corners. So ByuN feels safe enough to open up with a faster command center. Let's go. Let's go. As ByuN, he's still scouting, checking for proxies. Has been very persistent with this every game so far in the series. When it comes to scouting, when it comes to checking. Again, here he has a bit of a reputation about being a little bit more, I wouldn't say unusual, but just really flexible. Just a really flexible player. I mean, we mentioned it, right? We've seen a different build every game so far. So you cannot rule out a proxy. Or I should say you have to rule out a proxy by scouting. Meanwhile, Twilight Council opener out of herO. Okay. Going back to basics. And I would imagine we should be getting into Blink with a gateway count as well, but how many gateways? We'll find out. Do we finally go for a gate Blink? herO being very, very ambitious with this army. He moves out with the Sentry, moves out with the Stalker. His goal here to get an SCV if at all possible. Deny mining. SCV pulls away. Does have a force field. And it can try to slice up this army. Again, doesn't look like a lot, but this early on he can force with the ramp. Oh, I misses the force field. Massive loss here. Sentry goes down. Massive pickup. Here he was distracted by the Hellion. Nice moves out of ByuN. Distracts herO. Snipes the sentry, and that was a much better trade for ByuN. Here he was crazy moving out with his first 2 units, and it was a risk. It wasn't worth it. Was not worth it in the end. Losing 2 probes and a sentry. Better start for ByuN. And he follows this up with a drop. Ooh, he gets scattered. Does get spotted. Here pulling away. Does pull back. Behind this, working towards Blink. And a 3-gate setup. For the first time this series, 3-gate Blink. Let's go. Standard safe opener here out of herO. Hellions was a natural. Drop into the main. herO forced to recall. Stalker's in position. Nice stepping here out of ByuN. The boys are being pulled. He gets 1 Stalker. Does get 1. Probes are going down. Hellions, they bust into the mineral line. This is getting out of hand. 6 probe kills. 7 probe kills. Did I say 7? 8 probes going down. Ay, ay, ay. Good damage here by ByuN. Gets 8 workers. Here now has to counterattack. And here he is in a rough position. Just in general, this early game has been a little bit rough for him. Losing the sentries, the stalkers, the probes. The pressure is on. Now there's 1 tank. There's 1 tank here on the low ground. Bunker as well. ByuN is secured as natural. The main base is more exposed. He dives into the main. Blaze the racks. Going for the add-on. Not quite getting it though. Trading with the Marines. Second tank has arrived. Good kiting so far. And he is going to be pinned back behind the mineral line. Oh, barely blinks away. And with that, he denies mining. There we go. 3 SCVs going down. Depot as well. At the same time, ByuN across the map. Not getting much done though. With that auto harass. All tank boys are brutal. Oh my god. 2 stalkers go down. Brutal tank shots. The boys are being pulled. And this is going to be a one-way trip. Or at least it should be. herO losing everything. Tries to get away. He's got 3 stalkers left. Raven House going up. And 2 stalkers do get out. Whew, okay. And as it all settles here, what did we lose? herO in total losing 13 workers. Still did not quite make up for his losses. He did get 7 SCVs across the map, which was okay. Still less than what he had lost. Likewise losing 5 stalkers as well. And the stalker losses have been brutal here. They're very gas intensive. So I would say better trades for ByuN. Better trades from the Terran. There's still pressure on herO to get more damage done. Dropping into the main. Dropping into the main base. Loses 1 stalker. Trying to force friendly fire. Last won't be able to. And ByuN holds. At the same time, ooh, Raven goes down. Nice big of a herO. Gets the Raven. And he snipes 2 more SCVs. 2 more SCVs going down. Not bad. herO pulls out. Here we go. ByuN has yet to finish researching Stim, so this is a bit of an awkward push out of ByuN. Oh! He does break out and he wants to push. What does he have? He's got 4 tanks, a good amount of marauders, marines as well. herO trying to force ByuN back home. Oh, does snipe an upgrade. Yeah, combat shields should be going down. Doesn't get Stim. Stim would have been huge. But Stim does survive. That does mean that his army is that much weaker. Colossus has arrived. Can herO hold? Has been a rough start for herO. He's coming from behind. Sets up a surround. Not that much bio left. Tank boys going up, going for the Colossus. Ooh, 1 more volley. Colossus goes down. Massive pickup. ByuN pushing in. Down to 2 tanks. And he backs off. He's content. He does retreat. herO survives. And now we can expand. 3rd CC is already done. ByuN can now take his own third. Has to rebuild his upgrades, getting back into combat shields. Ooh, and we can embrace a longer game. Again, herO losing one of his Colossus is brutal. It does mean that his army is that much weaker. It's a big loss for him. herO should not be pushing up this ramp. We said the same thing on El Dorado. Like herO, he's okay. He doesn't have to go in. Well, speaking of going in, the prism goes down. Massive pickoff. Takes down a Marauder. And thankfully herO, he pulls away and he takes a fourth base. Like herO, his goal here with this army is just to contain. And it should not be defiant. As the army stems in. ByuN, he wants that Colossus, gets the Immortal. Not bad. Colossus has to get the hell out of here. He's gonna kite back, trades well. Whew. Does trade well. Here he maintains his position. Does maintain. Disruptor's now on the way. herO establishing his economy. Still, they're very tense between the players. As herO does try to distract. Dives in with the Zealots. Gets caught out. Gets a handful of SCVs. ByuN is holding. ByuN is holding well. herO still trying to establish his own economy. Can soon afford a second robo. He's getting there. Before that happens, though, ByuN moves out. Oh, there he goes up. Takes out one Marauder. Nice splits out of ByuN. Very nice splits. There's still one Nova left. Army blinks in, gets one of the Vikings. Gets one, gets two. Very nice target firing at a herO. Shuts down 3 Vikings ahead of time. 1 Viking left. The Colossus are safe. Despite that, ByuN is still pushing in. Trying to gain ground. But again, we spoke about the defensive position here on Ultra Love. It's not easy to push in past the choke point. The choke point is brutal. herO, he breaks out, shows those Novas. Oh, Novas go up. No connections. Uh-oh. And the disruptors are going down. That was a blundered assault there from herO. Losing 2 disruptors. And ByuN, he's content. He backs off. Does back up. Again, herO a little bit trigger happy there. Throwing away those disruptors. ByuN looking for another way in. Likewise, so is herO. herO trying to catch reinforcements. And he will catch the Medivacs. Very nicely done. Gets one, he gets 2. These are 2 Medivacs, a couple of Marines as well. Nice value. Catching depots, hits the mineral line. ByuN does deny a 5th. Oh, but boys are being pulled. SCVs are going down, even sniping Marauders. herO is getting a lot done here, and ByuN, Doom Drop. Just drops into the main base, does force a recall. Stalker still active. ByuN snipes the Disruptor. The Colossus as well. Oh my god. Takes out the Colossus. The Disruptor trades against the army. But back at home, still losing more SCVs. It's still not over. 17 SCVs going down, and herO holds. herO, he holds, he defends. Or did I speak too soon? ByuN, he hits a 3rd. Tank sieging up. There's still that one Disruptor. ByuN overstimming. And herO, he's holding. He's barely holding on. Shuts down the army, and the real MVPs have been these Stalkers. They just got cleaned up, but they killed 22 SCVs. They delayed reinforcements. They caught out some Medivacs. And if herO wins this game, it was thanks to that Stalker hit squad. Did so well for him. ByuN now going for a Doom Drop. Getting desperate. ByuN is falling behind. Diving across the map. Recall, I believe, is still on cooldown. And ByuN, he does find the army. He'll find the base. Army know where he needs to be. And he does take down a good chunk of the mineral line. 6 probes. 6 probes, pulls away, at the same time pushing on the right-hand side, just pulling herO apart. Dragging him left and right. And ByuN is going to deny the 5th. Yeah, here he's going to try to save it. Does move in. Still a lot of HP. Takes some shots to the face. Zell's going to be going down. Drop back in towards the left-hand side. ByuN is pulling this off. Expansion, that's going to be a kill, not a cancel. The Prism goes down as well. Here he defends his 3rd at the cost of the 5th. ByuN still not done, dropping into the main. Does drop in. Trading with the army. Colossus to respond. ByuN is setting up here at the 3rd. He's gaining ground. Here now stuck in the main, has to rotate back down. Getting 5 more probes. And ByuN, he does need those reinforcements. They're still on the way. The tank gets surrounded. herO holding on. Knows this well. Nice splits there from ByuN. We'll lose this army, but again, this is just a big distraction. herO, his entire army here on the left-hand side, and the 3rd is exposed. ByuN, he dives in, sieges off those Widow Mines. Oh, that recoil, that's not it. The Stalkers, they go down. Massive shots going off. Stalker count gets reset. Takes down 16 probes. Oh, the Disruptors, he gets 1. Oh, just the 1. Gets the 1 Disruptor, but here he just cannot maintain himself. He cannot maintain. Just being dragged left and right over and over again. ByuN with the harass. With the drop play. It's just too much. It's just too much at this point. ByuN now with a massive supply lead, dropping into the main, pushing towards the left. herO, he can only defend 1 location at once. Gets dragged into the main base. And the 4th is exposed. There's no shield battery. The recall was just used. It's on cooldown. GG gets called, and ByuN, he will take a lead in the series, 3-2. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Very impressive play there out of ByuN. I mean, it was very back and forth. Very back and forth. Initially, ByuN had a stronger start, if you recall, and then herO, he clawed his way back in with that massive Stalker counterattack. Remember, he caught Medevacs, he caught Marines, he delayed reinforcements, he got, what was it, 22 SCVs? It was crazy. He killed so many workers at that 3rd base while he was defending, and then the pressure was on ByuN. The pressure was on ByuN. He was behind. And he popped off. He went Super Saiyan. He was just dropping all over the place into the main, the 3rd base, the 4th as well. 3 locations at once. And herO could not keep up. He could not keep up. And with that, ByuN does take that lead. And we'll see if he can extend it, or if herO can bounce back. As a reminder, best of 9. It's 1st to 5, not 1st to 4. Like, I was about to misspeak. I was like, yo, ByuN is on match point. No. I'm used to best of 7s. We still have more ahead of us here. And we'll see if we can once again tie this up, or if ByuN does get to match point. Here we go, as we are loading into ley lines. Loading in. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Green Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Green Terran player, the Red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. We go. Whew, okay. We go again here. He has gone for a different build every game. Last game was the first time he had gone for 3-gate blink. This time going for a much earlier probe scout across the map. Likewise, hello, Mr. SCV. What's going on? ByuN looks to be setting up potentially a eBay block. We'll see. As herO pokes in, Rax is on the way, and ByuN does slip by. And he's going for that eBay. There it is. The eBay is now in progression. herO is unaware. force back. Does spot this, and again, ByuN is hoping to try to force herO into a more uncomfortable position, into the unnatural natural. More boys are being pulled. herO, he refuses to expand elsewhere. Zelda's on the way, and herO, he will settle. He's forced to his fate here. Delayed expansion. Delayed natural for herO. Back at home, ByuN should be going for a faster factory. The reason for this is because of the eBay, he can't afford the CC. So there is a bit of a give and take. So he's going to race back home. Oh, here is like, let me expand. Ah, no. Leave me alone. As from here, ooh, CC first. Okay, so this is going to be Rax into command center. ByuN does cancel, going for a more delayed factory. Now we can calm down. Likewise, here his own natural is also delayed as well, so a bit of a disrupted setup here. As we are stumbling our way into ley lines. Here even making the, I mean, of course he had to make the initial zealot. He moves out across the map. And ByuN should be able to handle this. The Reaper is nearby. A lot of hits going off. Adept has arrived. Can they shut down that Reaper? Oh! Gets one shot off. Gets the one shot. Reaper escapes behind this Stargate opener out of herO. And we'll see if herO goes for the Oracle or goes for the Phoenix. Or even both. So now we just see herO poking in. Chipping away at the army. Nothing major. No major pickups. Behind this herO settling in. And ByuN, he's setting up for the initial Widowmine drop. I mean, the two Widowmines have arrived. Medivac's on the way. We haven't really been seeing any Widowmine drop play at all this series out of ByuN. He's going for it this time. Reaper going in for the scouts. It gets past the Adept, and the Reaper will not get behind the mineral line. Is going to be locked down. Doesn't get the scout. It doesn't see what's going on. Is going to be Phoenix production here, and the Phoenixes, they're banking up in the main base, and ByuN has no idea. Has no idea what's going on. Ooh, this is going to be a little bit more committed. It's going to be a Widowmine drop alongside Marines. Adepts, they thread in the shade. They spot the 1-1-1. herO trying to keep up. Drop has arrived. Phoenixes, they engage ahead of time. Widowmines, they attempt to burrow. They're going to be locked down. Boys are being pulled. And here he will shut this down. Doesn't lose a single probe. He's up both Widowmines and hunts down the medevac. Oh my god, herO with the cleanup. herO, he shuts down the medevac. Doesn't lose anything so far. herO, he only losing the one zealot earlier. Finds the Marines. herO pulls back the weakened Adept, and herO will shut this down. So very nice defense here by herO. Cleans up the drop. ByuN forced back home. Back at home, he has to build up Cyclones, build up Vikings. Needs to prioritize anti-air. Does need to build up. And ByuN is stuck at home. He's going to be stuck at home from here. I say that. Liberator does get across the map. Nicely done. He's to the side of the Phoenixes. 4 probes going down. herO is getting a third base, but this does drag herO all the way back home. And ByuN, he breaks out. Does break out of his contain. ByuN, he's still in this. Oh my god. Does notice. Does notice the stasis trap. Hoping to get some lock-ons. Here we're going Phoenix into charge. +1 on the way. looking for that Viking. Doesn't quite get it. ByuN backs up, setting up a 5-rack setup. Uh-oh. We've seen this before. Getting with the 5 racks. I mean, previously we saw ByuN force into a 2-base all-in after a blundered start that was on Whispers of Gold, if you remember, where ByuN had lost his initial Banshees, the harassing Banshees, had a rough start, and then went into a 2-base all-in. Did not work out in the end. But this setup is a little bit telling. No add-ons here on that 4th and 5th racks. Likewise, just 1 eBay for just +1. Hallucination does spot all the production. And herO knows. He knows. There we go. We pull the boys. It is going to be a 2-base all-in out of ByuN. Again, very similar to what we saw in Whispers of Gold. And herO, can he slow this down? Spots the main army. Stasis does buy some time. Stim is still on the way. Oh, this is without Stim. I mean, it does hit a little bit earlier because of that. Marine's getting picked up. ByuN pushing forward. He's got 2 tanks. Soon to be 3. More Marines getting picked up. 1 Phoenix should be going down. ByuN getting within range. Phoenix survives somehow. Not does live, does survive. Turrets are on the way to help protect these tanks. Oh, the Phoenix, miss rally! That brutal Pigos, 1 Phoenix goes down. Here he rallies in. And he's going to be in trouble. The turrets are done. Tries to get to the lift. Lifts up 1 of the tanks, and there's just not enough. ByuN, he will shut this down. He's doubling out of control. Breaks through the defensive line. There's 1 immortal left. Phoenixes, they fall, 1 after the other. And here he doesn't have enough. He doesn't have enough here. The base is going to fall. And ByuN can keep pushing. He can keep pushing in. As a reminder, last time when we saw hero's defense, he had gone into a faster Colossus or a faster Bay production into faster Colossus. Not this time, instead of going into Archons. Zealots are going to be cleaned up. There's still 2 tanks left. And ByuN is done. He's broken the natural. Breaks through the natural, shuts down the Robo. Here trying to engage. Nice stasis trap. But he just doesn't have the numbers. Doesn't have the supply. And again, this also hit earlier, as Stim just now finished. As ByuN, he moved out as Stim was starting. It was crazy. GG gets called. ByuN, he will catch herO off guard, and ByuN takes a 4-2 lead in the series. GG. GG, well played. Interesting here. Again, it was similar to the build that we saw in Whispers of Gold, but it was an earlier push. Again, on Whispers, if you remember, he moved out with, I wouldn't say 5 or 6 tanks, this time with only 3. Technically 2, like the 3rd one was reinforcing, so 2 to 3 tanks there from ByuN. He moved out as he started Stim, as he started, he didn't even start +1. If you remember, he made the eBay, I assumed it was for the upgrade so that he could hit with +1 and Stim at the same time. He actually moved out earlier than that for turrets. The eBay was just for the turrets, essentially. And with that, ByuN was able to sneak up on herO ahead of time. herO was not ready in time. He was building up towards more Archons, towards Storm eventually, towards more charge lots. herO was caught with his pants down, and ByuN takes the win. And with that, ByuN, he is now 1 game away from making it through. Here we go. We are going to be setting up and loading in. We're going to be loading into Neon Violet Square, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Neon Violet Square, we have the South Green Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing Weibo Gaming. It is herO. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Here we go. Whew, Neon Violet Square again. It's been a long time. It's been a while since we've casted on this map, but as a reminder, this is a best of 9. Best of 9. Not a best of 7. So no vetoes. We're able to see almost every single map, depending on how long the series goes. see if we can get there. As we load into the largest map in the map pool. Very large map, very unorthodox as a result. Curious to see how this does play out. I mean, because it's so large, I wouldn't be opposed to herO going Stargate. As we do see ByuN going for the eBay. This time a much earlier scat from herO. Does scat, does confirm. And the boys are being pulled much earlier here. SCV's forced back, and herO, he should be able to take a faster expansion. I say faster, I mean faster than last game, as he was more heavily delayed. Across the map here, he does spot the setup. There's the cancellation on the eBay. Oh, that should not have happened. Oh, as that was a kill, not a cancel. Ay, ay, ay. 125 minerals down the drain. Here he expands, and ByuN, this actually will delay his CC and delays. I mean, this will delay his build in general here, as he should have gotten the refund. No, ByuN. Calm down, Bobby, calm down. Going for the CC at the pocket base? Okay. Okay. Let him cook. Let him. Interesting setup here. Okay, so a couple different things. This is a very unorthodox way to expand. He's crazy. he's double expanding. This makes more. Okay, no, sorry. For some reason, I thought this was the CC. Sorry. Whew, okay, I was freaking out. But this is an unorthodox way to open up. I believe this is to keep his CC safe because the SCV is one shot away from going down. So if he makes it here, it's more vulnerable to an adept. So he's throwing it down further back, but it's a much less valuable base. For those that are curious, this expansion is a pocket base, true, but there's less patches. There's less mineral patches here. So, yeah, an interesting setup here out of ByuN to try to recover is going for his 1-1 follow-up. I freaked out. For some reason, I saw the racks and I saw the production tab seeing another CC, and I thought it was another one, so my bad. I need to calm down. As ByuN's going for his 1-1-1. And again, he's here, and he should be delaying the CC, but he doesn't know. I mean, why would he? Why would he check this location? So big brain move out of ByuN. ByuN, the CC will complete. Otherwise, it would have been delayed. It would have been delayed. So cheeky move here out of ByuN. The adept is checking for the expansion, checking for the setup. ByuN will get away with it. Second adept does arrive. Second adept is here. Behind this, going for a Robo opener, not Stargate. Interesting. Very safe play here out of herO. Robo into Warp Prism. Now, the benefit of going for a Warp Prism first instead of the Observer or instead of the Immortal is to harass, is to get these adepts into the mineral line, into the main base. Oh, as they shade in anyway. They do shade in. They scout the 1-1-1. Add-on still on the way. herO should be a little bit wary, though. I mean, here, he might even think that the goal base was taken instead. Trading with Marines, he gets 2. 2 Marines going down. Spots the SCV. Yeah, he knows. Now he knows. He does spot the SCVs. He's aware of the pocket base, as it has been happily mining this entire time. Here, he's not as far ahead as he thought he was. And we see ByuN moving out with that mine drop. This time, just the singular mine drop, or like, there's no Marines alongside this, just 2 Widow Mines. herO dropping into the main. Stim is not done. But there's a tank. Gets 1 SCV so far. Prism taking a lot of hits. Will sit by. Now hits the pocket base. Marines out of position. Well, at the same time, though, Widow Mines, they pop up. 4 probes going down. Oh, that should not have happened. 4 probe kills. Nice damage by ByuN. Gets 4 workers. Likewise, 3 more SCVs going down. Dropping back into the main. Back and forth. Viking has arrived. That will shut this down. And we should force a recall. That is recall back home. ByuN, he did save both Widow Mines as well. Crazy. Gets 4 probes, and he could get even more. As Widow Mines do escape. ByuN setting up for his push. Getting his 3rd CC on location. And he does pull the boy. Okay, I was a little bit okay, no, he does pull the boys. This I'm a little bit concerned by. This is actually very committed by ByuN, which is why I'm getting mixed signals, because he got a third CC. Like this is quite greedy. He rushes into a third CC, but he still pulls the boys, still commits to his push. He's spotted. He's spotted by herO. herO is aware. Looking to engage down the center of the map. And again, that's a lot of SCVs. 6 SCVs with the main army. The tank is going to get caught unsieged. Yeah, ByuN has to back off. There's no medevac. Meanwhile, WinMine drop back into the main. herO, he does pull away this time. Oh my god, despite that, he does get caught out. At the same time, though, despite that drop, I believe... let me actually just double check that. I believe ByuN, he was caught out here and did lose everything. So my apologies, I was otherwise distracted. Oh. And with that, herO, he fights back. Oh my god. GG. GG. Well, for some reason I can't... CranKy trick, but yeah, ByuN, he got caught out in the open, very committed. I'm a little bit shocked that he pulled the boys. Again, it's kind of an odd move. Not gonna lie. But here he does take the game, does tie things up, or at least looks to tie things up. But yeah, for ByuN to commit as hard as he did, despite getting a third CC behind this, despite rushing to that third base, was a little bit of an odd one here. And it looks like he did lose his army in the center of the map. With that, GG. GG, well played. Whew. ByuN does tap out, and now we're getting into our next game. We're going to be loading into Amygdala. Let's go. One of the other larger maps in the map pool. Loading into a larger map. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Weibo Gaming, clawing his way back into this here, but still up against the wall. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion, one game away from claiming the series. It is ByuN. We go. Okay, it was a very chaotic last game where we saw a very unorthodox start as well with the attempted eBay block. Speaking of eBay block, we're doing it again. 3 games in a row. We saw it on Leylines, we saw it on Neon Violet Square, and I believe we should be seeing it here on Amygdala as well. I mean, if it goes unscattered, it can do quite well, but if you recall, ByuN, I mean, he lost the eBay last game. There was no cancel. Like, it was a really rough setup there for ByuN. As the SCV has arrived, and here he's already here. Yeah, I mean, he's already here to shut this down. The eBay is going to be thrown down regardless, but boys are being pulled. This is the downside of doing this multiple games in a row, is that you do become a little bit more predictable, and it becomes more difficult to actually have this payoff. But this time, we should see a cancel. We had a bit of a fumble last time, but ByuN, I'm sure, will not allow that to happen this time. Not again. I feel like we have to pay attention. there we go. There's the cancel. No kill. Not this time. From here, ByuN can now expand, CC on the low ground, and we can settle in. So command center is on the way. Likewise, herO going for his own gate cyber into expansion. Bit of a disrupted build, as herO had to delay mining time with a lot of workers. And we'll see how players do open up. Again, herO, he's been very flexible with his build so far. We saw Blink twice in this best of 9. So far, we've seen Blink twice. We saw 2-gate Blink in game 1. We saw 3-gate Blink some games ago. This will not be a bad map for a Stargate play, as Amygdala is quite large. Not too fond of robo openers here, and instead it is going to be the Twilight Council. Okay, for the 3rd time this series. Twilight Council into Blink from the side of herO. And it's going to be on ByuN to figure out what's going on. Going for his own opener. I mean, the Widow Mine drop was very successful, so looks to be setting up for another mine drop. Understandable. So Widow Mines are building up. Here is looking to stabilize. Saturating is natural. Blink, of course, is being researched. Going for like a charge opener is crazy, and we should not be seeing that at any point in this series. Going for like charge or glaive adepts, it's crazy. Meanwhile, I believe this is going to be a more committed Widow Mine job. If I'm not mistaken, okay, just two Widow Mines, and there is no third Widow Mine being produced. Instead, straight into the tech lab, into tank production. Mine shot goes off, denies the hallucination. Very nicely done. Keeping herO in the dark. herO is at least aware of the Widow Mines, but it hasn't seen much else. I saw the setup here. Should be relatively secure. Widow Mines move out. And here it does spread. As we mentioned before, with the initial E-Way block, is relying on the same kind of build multiple times in a row. I mean, here he's a lot more aware. He's a lot more, I'm sure, attentive to this. Yep, spots a medevac. Medevac takes some hits. Reaper towards the natural. Medevac is deflected. And the Reaper is going to get potentially one probe. One probe goes down. Not bad. Gets up. Gets two. Two workers falling. Very nice damage here by ByuN. But the Widow Mine is denied, or the drop is denied so far. Hallucination checks once again. Now, we have been seeing some 2-base all-ins out of ByuN so far, actually quite regularly. We shouldn't see them here, though, on a large map like Amygdala. I mean, I wasn't expecting it on Neon Violet Square either. Oh! Mine shot going off, gets one probe. Nice cleanup out of herO. Very well done. And here is going from Blink into a third base into Charge. I believe 2-gate Blink. Sorry, 3-gate Blink. 3-gate Blink into Charge. So here he is opting to delay splash damage intentionally. Getting into a more gateway heavy composition instead. With Stalkers and Chargelots. Back at home, ByuN is securing himself and getting into his 3-1-1 setup. Really, we're looking to see if he throws down extra Raxes or a third CC. I mean, the game on Neon Violet Square, that shows us that even if ByuN gets a third CC, it might just pull the boys anyway. I mean, I guess. Which is crazy, by the way. So I don't know what to think anymore. As we see herO dive in, tanks the position, he does deny Stim! Massive pick up. Stim is denied. Ooh, one Stalker going down. 2, 3, oh my god. It's going to be 3 Stalkers falling. So here he is punished, but sniping Stim was worth it. There it is, 4 Stalkers for 1 SCV, 2 Marines, and Stim. Here is keeping up with that lib. Essentially, without Stim, ByuN can't really break out, so he's going to be stuck at home that much longer. ByuN sniping 2 probes. We have 2 more Raxes on the way. We do have a 5-rack setup, but alongside it, a third CC. And again, as we mentioned, technically the third CC doesn't mean that we're going to commit into a longer game, but it should mean that. So ByuN is calming things down, he's building up. No all-in, will expand, and we can embrace the mid-game. And we actually haven't really experienced proper 4-base versus 4-base this series. We kind of got it on Ultra Love, but even on Ultra Love, if you remember, it was very chaotic. It was very chaotic, very action-packed, very back and forth, just drop play after drop play, Dune drop after Dune drop, rotations, run-bys, counterattacks. We haven't seen this kind of slower, more methodical, max-out army versus max-out army. What I should emphasize is even we have not seen either player max out at all. that just hasn't been the series. It's been more chaotic and more aggressive than that. Could this be the game? Potentially. The map does lean into that. We have the 4th Nexus now on the way. Colossus production has begun. ByuN establishing his third. Just now finishing up stim at the 8-minute mark. +2 is on the way. And here he does want to gain map control. Is pushing out. Ghost Academy on the way for ByuN, going into faster Ghost production. Likewise knocking down his own rocks to gain access to the gold. Both players just setting up and embracing Amygdala. Again, this map is one of the larger maps in the map pool, long rushes and spy ground. Relatively defendable 4-base setup, and even 5-base setup as well. So it is not uncommon to get into longer game states here on Amygdala. You have second Forge on the way for double upgrades. Second Colossus about to pop. And yes, here he's knocking down these rocks, but I don't think he really intends to try to break this siege line. He can still engage with the army though. Oh! Guess what, Medevac? Medevac goes down, catches a couple of Marines, nice force fields. Locks down a portion of the army. And ByuN pulls back to his tanks. Yeah, it does reposition. Here reinforcing. Can he break this? EMPs are going to be available. Oh, he heard the siege and shuts it down. I was curious, when you siege up your observer like that, the audio cue is for your opponent as well. So, did notice it. Scan reveals the army. We see herO going for a zealot run by. ByuN is aware. ByuN is aware tank boy is going to be going up. He does go for the time though. First tank is going to go down. He gets one. Disruptors have arrived as well. Shorts it over. Ooh, doesn't get it though. The tanks do fall. And here he won't be able to break through. Waiting for reinforcements. ByuN shuts down the zealot run by. Here he maintains his position. Did save his Colossus. The boys are being pulled. Comes in with a surround. Nova goes off. Doesn't connect. Zealots, they shut down the bio though. And the Colossus, they kite well. The SCVs are going to be shut down. 17 SCVs falling. And the Zealots, they hold their own. herO, he will take this fight. He shuts down the main army. He cripples the economy. 25 SCV kills. This was not the fight to take. Not at all. As ByuN, he will lose everything here. There goes the Marines. GG gets called. And herO, he will tie things up. We're going to the ace match. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Again, ByuN, initially the defense was decent. I mean, he was able to hold his own, hold that third base. ByuN trying to surround and trying to collapse on that army was not ideal. We saw, especially on the left-hand side, I don't know if you noticed, ByuN, he stimmed forward and he focused on the Disruptor. He did snipe the Disruptor, but in doing so, there was actually a wave of Zealots waiting for him, and he lost everything. He lost all of his bio on the left-hand side. Likewise, on the right, he did not have enough Vikings to shut down the Colossus, and even though he pulled the boys, it was not worth it. It was not worth it. It was a very dedicated fight there by ByuN. Lost everything in the process. GG. GG, well played. Whew, that leads us into the final game of the series. And really, that's all we ever want. That's all we ever want here. I'm a little bit surprised. It's rare here to have a best of 9 and to go all the way to the ace match. We're going to be loading into the final map of the series. It is King's Cove. King's Cove as the final map, as the final game. Let's go. We have gone the distance here. And we have still yet to embrace like a proper like late game. that still hasn't happened. Does it happen here on King's Cove? No shot. No shot. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom hand corner of King's Cove. We have the South Korean Terran player, the red Terran. Oh, sorry. The South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is herO. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have this. Here we have the South Korean Terran player, the red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Here we go. Welcome one and all to King's Cove, one of the larger maps in the map pool. Smaller only compared to Neo Violet Square, Abyssal Reef, and you have King's Cove alongside them. The three largest maps. Likewise, very defendable in three bases. The natural and the third are very secure. The reason for this is because of the points of elevation, the ramps. There's a very narrow choke point, very narrow ramp coming into the natural. Very difficult to push up this, especially if you have force fields and a concave and any kind of army waiting on top of the ramp. Similar thing here at the third, as you also have a much stronger defender's advantage at the third base. Everything does change when you try to take a fourth. The fourth base is more exposed, and usually that's where we have these big fights. That's where there's a lot of contention and contested areas, is at the fourth base and at the fifth as well. So down here on the low ground and the open is where the fights usually occur. Until then, we should be gearing up towards a longer game state. And hey, for the first time in like 4 games, no eBay block. No eBay block out of ByuN. Let's go. Double gas opener instead. Double gas into a faster factory. Something a little bit more assertive here. And I wouldn't be opposed to opening a Banshee even on a map as large as King's Cove. Again, the rush distance by ground is very long and it's quite awkward to counterattack. So you can get away with harassing and, you know, being greedy behind it and catching up economically. Or likewise, we can get away with a faster third CC. ByuN, he has been quite fond of that in certain maps to rush into a third base. I mean, we saw it on Neo Violet Square, but I mean, then he went for an all-in. So we'll see. For now, Reactor Reaper, actually. Opening of Reactor Reaper. Probe Scout coming in, and herO opens up Stargate, which makes sense. Again, on larger maps, Stargate play, it's a lot safer, so is going to be incorporating Oracles or Phoenixes. Stargate out of herO. And how hard do we commit to Reactor Reaper Hellion? Probe goes down. We have another set of Reapers on the way. And another Hellion behind this. Getting up to 4 Reapers. CC's on location. And we'll see what ByuN can get done. As he will soon move out with this. Is it 2025? Yes, it is. Old map, new map pool. Yes, for those that are maybe a little bit... Oh, we'll get into it. We do commit to the shade. Adepts are going to be hunted down. They get 1 Reaper. This is not going to be worth of a herO. He will lose everything. Both Adepts go down, and ByuN, he gains map control. Only losing 1 Reaper in the process. Better trade here for ByuN. Does move out. herO, he's setting up back at home. A bit of a rough position, and he will have to keep the Oracle at the natural. He would like to harass, but upon losing 2 Adepts, the Oracle has to stay back. The Oracle does stay back. Diving in the army. We head for the mineral line. And probes, they're going to be roasted. And probes aren't going down. He gets 1, he gets 2. Up to 3. Up. Can he get it? Barely can. 3 probe kills. ByuN, I'm sure he was hoping for a little bit more. And again, if herO had moved out across the map with that Oracle, he would have lost the mineral line. 100%. Mineral line would have gone down. So good defensive setup there by herO, respecting the army, does defend, and does survive. Now we can calm things down. Back at home, ByuN going into Cyclone production. I would have assumed Cyclone into Viking. I'm a little bit surprised by the medevac. Is going to give ByuN a little bit more maneuverability. And even counterattack potential as well. Oh, ooh, Stasis goes off. Nice catch. Adept into the main. Oracles towards the natural. Marines, they do punish the Oracle though. The first one, even the second. herO being forced back. Second Cyclone has arrived, and ByuN, he will hold. Will hold. herO has to get the hell out of here. Has to pull away. And a bit of a chaotic attack out of herO doesn't really work out well. He backs up. At least he saves the Oracles. But you can see ByuN, he's hunting for those Oracles. He has 2 Cyclones in that medevac. And if he can lock on, he will bring them down. So does move out. Behind this, herO getting a 3rd. Is macroing up. And we can take a moment to settle in. But we were saying here, if you're a little bit newer, or if you're a returning viewer to StarCraft, the current ladder map pool incorporates very old maps from many years ago, from back in like 2017, 2018. 3 older maps are this map, King's Cove, alongside Neon Violet Square and Abyssal Reef. It's been a long time since they have been in the ladder map pool and in tournament circuit, in the tournament kind of map rotation, and they're back. Back. It is a little bit controversial, to be honest. Those 3 maps are very often vetoed. They're very often vetoed. They do incorporate certain features that are outdated and that aren't necessarily something that modern StarCraft does work well with. But here we are. Ooh, as here he is going to be setting up here outside of the bases. But this is also why a lot of the other tournament events, or I should say, the other weekly events out there and other tournaments, actually they have their own custom map pool instead. Events like the Pegasaur Monday, KSL, the Korean StarCraft League, alongside Hub Cup and our tournaments, they get rid of the old maps and they replace them with TLMC maps instead. As ByuN will find the proxy. Not bad. He rotates, he scouts, shuts down the proxy pylon. Here he does rally out. Moving out with his fleet. ByuN still contained to 2 bases. Is being active, and thankfully he does escape. We can see here he's hunting down those Cyclones. He wants them. ByuN, can he get away? Oh, as here he's on the hunt. And it looks like here he will find the medevac. He will find it. He will shut this down. A massive pickoff here for herO. As, yeah, there's no escaping for these Cyclones. They force out some energy, but nothing more than that. Nicely done. ByuN moves out, takes a ace to the face. Stim is almost done as well. ByuN fighting for map control. ByuN does break out. Here he cannot engage head on. He's going to try to, though. Does snipe the Cyclone at least. ByuN, he stems in. He kites well. We do see some nice lifts here on some of those Marauders. But again, here he has to back off. He cannot fully engage. There's just a lot of DPS, a lot of firepower here for ByuN. So here retreats. ByuN gets a 3rd CC. And both armies disengage. Disengage. Now, what's important for herO, even though he cannot fight this head-on, he bled out mainly Zealots. Looking at the trades, it was 6 Zealots and 1 Phoenix, 1 Sentry. But here, he's more than happy to just trade out Zealots. Oh, as long as he keeps the Phoenix safe. Oh no! Not again! Oh my god. Another Phoenix goes down. Brutal pickoff. herO needs to be careful. He pulls back home. And is getting a 4th. Is getting a 4th base. We're calming things down. Building up more bases here. He reestablishes that proxy. Getting ready for run-bys. Does find a medevac. Solid movement here from here. He gets 1, he gets 2 medevacs. Doesn't lose the Phoenix yet. Catches a couple of reinforcements. Winter Mines, Marauders, SCVs. This is getting out of hand. And ByuN, he just commits. He just commits across the map. He forces the recall. That was a very successful run by here, a flyby for herO. Makes it back home in time, and ByuN backs off. ByuN backs off. And here, that's a lot of Zealots. That's a very Zealot-heavy army. He wants to fight out in the open. ByuN, he needs some SimCity to work with. He falls back. Oracle goes down. Nicely done. It's an Oracle. There's still more Widow Mines behind this. Ghost production has begun. We need the EMPs. He needs them. Oh no! Another mine shots to the face. And again, ideally here, he wants to drag the army out into the map. So we have the mineral line. 3 more SCVs. Here retreats. Do we have any splash damage? Not yet. The Temple Archives is done. We have some Archons, true, but no Storm. No storm yet. The ghosts are building up. Hopefully ByuN does kind of notice. Takes stasis to the face. Takes on the final oracle. No more stasis traps. No more stasis. Ghosts have hit the field. They're now in the main army. The EMP does connect. Connects with the Phoenixes. herO setting up for another expansion. And after the tense posturing, we back up. We calm down. Another mine shot. Jeez, the Widow Mine spread out of ByuN. Just keeps catching herO off guard. There's Widow Mines everywhere. That's like, what, the third or fourth Widow Mine to the face? Despite that, here he does still slip in between the bases. Catches a couple of Marines. He does distract the main army, bringing it back home. And that's a, oh my god, the main armies, they pass by each other. Massive Zealot run by and a massive Doom drop. It's a little bit awkward, they can't do anything about each other. There we go. But I'm a little bit concerned this army is isolated. herO makes a beeline over towards this force. Wants to surround. Cells collapse in. Nice EMP on the Archons. Colossus is exposed. Medevac goes down. But ByuN escapes. Does escape. Does save most of the army. So a nice save out of ByuN. That's still, I'm afraid to look. How many zealots? 42! 42 zealots! Ay, ay, ay. He's crazy. On the mine shot though. Decent connection. And when it comes to the main engagement, it all comes down to the EMPs and the Widow Mines, to be honest. Ideally, against this kind of army composition, you do want SimCity, you want depots, you want bunkers, you want CCs and planetaries to create choke points. Without choke points, herO can overwhelm. That's the power of this army. And, I mean, it's also applicable here to this kind of game state. Zealots are coming from behind. Better engage here for ByuN, though. Does catch half the Zealots. The other half, not quite engaging yet. ByuN fighting half the army at a time. Mine shot going up. Massive EMPs. The EMPs, they shut down the Zealots. And ByuN, he forces back the army. A much better trade there for ByuN. And here he has to back off. Second Robo's on the way. Double Disruptor production. herO, he's slowly working his way away from all these Zealots. And into more high-tech units. But ByuN has momentum. He does have the supply lead. He has the better army. At least currently. The disruptor count is low. Only one disruptor. And just the one. herO trying to chase. ByuN coming in for a flank. Is this pylon blocking the expansion? When I saw this, I thought it was, and I think it is. As herO does expand elsewhere. Feels pylon, man. It's fine, don't worry about it. It's fine. Gets a ghost. Nice initial Nova. herO coming in for a flank. Trying to come in from both sides. Oh, gets a medevac. Snipes a medevac, commits with the Zealots. Catching reinforcements. Ghost goes down, Marauder as well. Not a bad trade for only minerals. As they peel off towards the mineral lines. Stalker's moving in. Hoping to catch a medevac or any stray units. Zealots are cleaned up. They don't get too much done though. Those are 25 Zealots for really 2 Ghosts and 3 Marauders. Better trade for ByuN. ByuN maxes out. At this point, I wouldn't be opposed to herO taking into Storm as well, taking into a Fleet Beacon, into a Mothership at least. Not going full Sky Toss, but definitely benefits there. And now just focusing on Disruptors. And for the first time this series, we've maxed out. We have maxed out armies. MP going up, army dives in. Shots over. Takes out another Ghost. The Ghost falls. herO maintains his army. ByuN shuts down the proxy. herO wants to try to catch this army though. Just find himself in between the forces of ByuN. ByuN is forced further out into the open. Flanking Nova, doesn't quite connect. And ByuN is going to get cornered. Decent EMPs. He's coming in from behind though. And the cluster exposed. He gets one. Oh, Nova's connect. Gets one, gets two Colossus. Just barely. And ByuN, he will take the fight. Shuts down the Colossus. The surround is real. And a better engage for ByuN. Shuts down the Colossus. The Disruptors should get the final one. And here he bleeds out most of his robo units. The Zealots though, they're doing well. Man, who needs Colossus when you have Zealot? True. As Zealots chase everything down. There's no Winter Mines, barely any bio. herO still out trades ByuN. And he's warping in 17 Zealots at a time. Oh my god. The Gateway Man. See, he was just getting too fancy. Just like Colossus, Disruptors, nah, just a mass Zealot. And again, there's still no SimCity here. Nice EMP. Nova goes off, massive connection. And herO, he does it. He overwhelms. He breaks the planetary. This is almost nothing left to Nova. A brutal connection. GG gets called, and herO, he will claim the series at 5-4, taking down ByuN and becoming the first Enki Pro Series champion. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, this mass gateway, this mass Zealot style can be difficult to make work, but King's Cove is a little bit different. It's built a little bit different here. It is very wide open, especially, I mean, we spoke about it coming into the game itself, talking about how mainly we have these big fights and the main point of contention at the 4th and 5th base locations because of how open they are. There's no choke point, there's no ramp coming into them, the terrain just doesn't really help the defending player as opposed to almost every other map of the map. even Frostline, who's like the closest to King's Cove, even Frostline has ramps. They're wide ramps, but they still have ramps coming into the bases. Here on King's Cove, you get nothing. You get nothing at that 3rd and 4th base. So whoever has map control, whoever has momentum, has the advantage, has a more aggressive advantage pushing towards those bases, and that's where these Zealots can thrive. That's where the Zealots can thrive. There's no choke points. There's no kind of way to make a stand against those Zealots. And in the end, ByuN was overwhelmed. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, herO. He will claim the series and is our champion. Well played. Well played, Pappy. Well played. And a shout to ByuN because, honestly, I've been a little bit concerned because ByuN has been very inactive. He's been a lot more I say very inactive. When I say that, he would play in every Open Cup at one point in December. Here, coming into January, less so. ByuN has been playing in less events, and whenever he does play in them, he hasn't been making as deep of a run in them either, so he has been just a little bit less active. Despite that, and gets invited here to the ShowMatch, and he does well against, you know, the best Protoss in South Korea, arguably the best Protoss in the world. So, very well done. Very well done here by ByuN, forcing Game 9 out of herO, which is crazy. And again, with a very fun style as well. What I mean by that is, of course, we didn't get maxed out armies until the final game, until King's Cove. That's when we finally had like these 200 supply armies facing off. Before that, we had a lot of aggression, we had a lot of drop play. Personally, if you missed out, I do feel like the highlight of the series was Ultra Love. Like, Ultra Love was crazy. Ultra Love was very back and forth. We had Doom Drop after Doom Drop. We had drop play. We had counterattacks. We had run-bys from both sides, from both herO and ByuN. I feel like Ultra Love peaked. That was Game 5. That was Game 5 of the series. And even outside of that, like, every game of this series, like, had its own thing to, like, take away from and had just a lot of aggression and a lot of fun. And GG, well played. There were some rough moments as well. I mean, it is a long series, so there's a little bit of stamina and endurance that comes into play, referring to when ByuN lost his eBay on ley lines, when it was killed and not cancelled, and, you know, there were definitely some rough moments there, but overall, the peaks were high, and well played. Well played to both ByuN and herO. Well played. Is there a bag? It's a ShowMatch. This is a ShowMatch. This is a best of 9. Best of 9 between herO and ByuN. Shout out to Enki. Enki did organize this event. Enki, of course, he is a Spanish caster, and he has been organizing and casting events in Spanish for a very, very long time. There was no English stream. There was no English cast until now, so we did cover this event for the first time in English, and we do plan on covering the following event live. Again, the Enki Pro Series. Enki, I was talking to him, and he is thinking about making this a monthly kind of best of 9 show match. We'll see if he commits. He's still not 100% certain if he has, you know, the schedule to pull it off. Enki, he is, of course, you know, otherwise busy with his own IRL commitments, but he's very passionate when it comes to StarCraft. Very passionate indeed. And yeah, GG well played. I look forward to the next show match. I look forward to the next best of 9. And who would we want to see here? I mean, we could commit to the meme and give herO like a best of 9 PvP. That would be a lot of fun. Otherwise, yeah, it'd be great to bring some more of these players out. I appreciate that ByuN was brought out just because we've been seeing less of ByuN as of late. Another player that has been a little bit less active recently is Trap. Trap was very active in December, very active. A little bit less so coming into January. So maybe seeing more Trap. If Bunny is still willing, like it'd be fun to see some Bunny action as well. Bunny is also a player that kind of stepped away from the game after EWC, but he came back in December, and Bunny's been doing well. Like Bunny, if you saw him in the MC8 qualifiers, in the online weeklies throughout December, Bunny, he was was playing very well, very nicely, causing some upsets, if you will. I think Rogue is another one, right? Rogue, he's also like an active player, but he doesn't play in all these weeklies, right? Like he's not on that grind like Shin or like herO. He's not playing in all these open cups like some of these other guys, so it would be fun to like kind of drag them out and shine a light on them, if you will. Shine a light on them. Trap waiting for the tournament. I don't think I would say that necessarily, just because he was very active in December. Like I'm referring to like Trap, Rogue, Bunny. Like they don't play in every single weekly. They play like in like, you know, maybe one event a week, for example. So it'd be nice to see more of them. And I feel like these show matches are a good opportunity to do that, to bring them out and to have them face off. So we'll see. It comes down to Enki, of course. Comes down to Enki when it comes to who wants to have face off against each other. And I think this worked out really well. Like, very fortunate. Like, coming into this, I wasn't really thinking that this would go all the way to the ace match. I thought it was going to be a little bit more one-sided in favor of herO. herO did win it in the end, but ByuN put on a good show. Put on a very good show. GG. I wonder what month it is. January. What do you mean? What are you talking about? It's January. Here we go. With that, we are going to be wrapping up. We're going to be wrapping up here for the day. Again, just the one best of 9 here for us. And if you want to tune into some more StarCraft action, I got you covered. As we do switch our scenes over and catch up on our schedule here. Here we go. We just wrapped up this morning with the KSL, with the Korean StarCraft League. Likewise, we just wrapped up with the Enki Pro Series. And tomorrow, Thursday, we do have a Lima League. Tentatively so. As a reminder, we were supposed to be casting a Lima League this morning, but unfortunately, we didn't quite have the replays in time. Which is understandable. Again, a Lima League did end very late, so Crank, I'm sure, went straight to bed, and I'm sure is still recovering, but I'm sure we're going to be getting the replays soon, so as long as we do get them in time, we should be able to host a Lima League tomorrow morning in less than, or I should say in 11 hours. In 11 hours time, we should be seeing a Lima League. For those that are curious, a Lima League was live yesterday. Yes, or I guess technically this morning. Like, this morning was a Lima League, but alas, it was only casted in Korean, so we are looking to be the English coverage for a Lima League once we get our hands on those replays. Meanwhile, in the evening, we have the podcast. The podcast, there's a lot to go over. for the podcast. If you're curious, what is the podcast? The podcast is our weekly talk show for SE2, our weekly podcast, if you will, and there's a lot to go over. There's, of course, the Tasteless interview that came out. There's the Choba interview that came out as well. Likewise, we have the patch notes for our StarCraft Evolution, and we have some other news and some other tournament results coming in as well. This is the first podcast in a long time that we don't have a cutoff time as well, so expect like a 4-hour podcast. It's we're gonna talk about everything, Fab. Oh my god. Just because every time for the past couple of weeks that we have a podcast, we have like a 2 or 3 hour cutoff, and then we have to cast another tournament. Like, we have another tournament right after, but not this time. This time there's no tournament. This time there's no Masters Coliseum, there's no Little League Cup. We can, you know, talk without, you know, having this kind of looming cast like behind us on the horizon. We can talk to our heart's content. 6 hours at the amount of time. Let's go. Let's go. Likewise, we have Amantis. We have Amantis to StarCraft on Friday. We have Code for Giants Cup on Saturday. We have a Kung Fu Cup Warcraft 3 edition as well, which I'm going to be casting with Yaku. We have our events returning for January. We have the Master Swan Open. That is a amateur tournament. That's a tournament for players that are masters, around Masters 3, Masters 2, or below. 4.7k MMR, so look forward to that. It's going to be a blast. And we also have Sparkling Tuna Cup, which is our pro tournament, open to all players, all shapes and sizes on Sunday. And if you've been missing StarCraft Evolution, it's been a month. It's been a while since we've casted the StarCraft Evolution events, or even the Latin American show matches as well. It's been a while. SEL returns on Saturday/Sunday. Saturday at 11 p.m. KST is going to be StarCraft Evolution League, so look forward to that as well over the weekend. Look forward to all the StarCraft, to all the content. If you enjoyed the broadcast, and if you want some more StarCraft action, then do consider following us on all the social medias. We have Twitter, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. All things CranKy Ducklings. Bam, the links are in the chat. Likewise, if you want to support us monetarily, you can do so via Patreon. We just got a new patron this morning, I believe, so thank you so much. Thank you so much to all the patrons. Thank you so much for all the support that we get in the channel. Again, the Patreon is designed to fund our tournaments. Actually, I say we just got a new patron today. Dystopia. Oh my god, we got 2 patrons today. We had one this morning for the KSL stream, and we just got one from, I believe, a lovely supporter in the chat as well. So thank you so much, Dystopia. Thank you. All the money that we make on the Patreon goes towards our tournaments. It goes towards these events here. Bam. As you can see on the screen, we have Sea Duckling Open, Master Swan Open, and Sparkling Tuna Cup. Again, these are monthly and weekly tournaments that we host on a regular basis, and all the funding for those events is via Patreon, and you can help us grow those events via Patreon as well. Our current goal is 400 USD a month. If we can get there, that is to boost the prize pool for specifically Sparkling Tuna Cup. Currently, Sparkling Tuna Cup is very top heavy, only top 2. Only top 2 players get paid out. If we can reach our next goal, we can pay out top 4. Top 4 players can get paid. So that is the hope, that is the goal here for our events. And we do have like more stretch goals as well to boost further prize pools. I believe after we boost the prize pool for STC, we can then start boosting the prize pool for Sea Duckling Open and Master Swan Open as well. So we have like a bunch of stretch goals set up, and yeah, you can help us reach our next one. Help us reach it if you wish. You also gain benefits. You gain replay packs as well for supporting us. Otherwise, thanks so much. Thank you so much. Even just watching and following is all that we ask for. It's all that we ask for. So thank you so much for all the support. Our next stream again is going to be in 11 hours time. Is going to be in 11 hours with the Lima League, assuming that, you know, everything works out and we get those replays. If not, we will be most likely accelerating the schedule and maybe rescheduling and covering Amantis, for example, or covering Code for Giants Cup, as those are also replay casts. We were otherwise busy covering other events at the time, so we weren't able to cover them live. So we're going to be catching up on some Brazilian StarCraft. So yeah, we'll make it work. We'll make it work in the end. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Who is live at the moment? Who is live? Who can we send everyone over to? Let's find out. Sal is asleep. Rotterdam is playing StarCraft and playing Deadlock. We have Thriving GG. He did give us a raid yesterday, or a couple of days ago, so we could give some love to Thriving. We have Gemini. Gemini, he barely streams. We could give Gemini some love as well. Who else is live? Oh yeah, Soita. We did give Soita a raid, I believe, this morning or yesterday. Did give him a raid. I'm torn. I'm torn between Gemini and Thriving. I'm very torn. We'll give one of them some love. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Stick around, give them some love, and we'll see you guys in 11 hours time for our next cast for some more StarCraft. Or we'll see you for whichever event kind of lines up with your schedule, as we cast twice a day, every single day. Or almost every day. Pretty much. A lot of content, a lot of StarCraft. See you next time. See you next time, papi. Ciao, ciao. Hasta luego. See you next time.